Okay, a quick pros and cons video on the 2022 Ram 1500 Laramie. I do these videos because it's kind of like a short Cliff Notes / Spark Notes version of the full reviews that I do. So if you're too lazy to watch that 25-minute long review, you can just watch this quick video here. That's why I do these. And also later on in the video, I'll talk about how you can take 12% off of a new Ram 1500 order if you're in the market, because I have partnered up with Lease Companion. So more on that later on towards the end. But first of all, let's get into the first pro, and that is going to be the drivetrain. I love this engine and this transmission combination. This is the 5.7 liter V8, the Hemi, along with the eTorque and this 8-speed automatic transmission. I like the nice smooth tone of this engine, so it's very satisfactory to hear it start up, to hear it idle, to get on the gas. Very satisfactory there. And we do have here the eTorque system, so here's kind of where we get into a con, and that's going to be with the fuel economy. So you can get pretty decent fuel economy in this. Like, I'm getting around 17 mpg when I drive around town, which definitely is not bad for a vehicle of this size and stature. You know, it's a full-size pickup truck, right? But then when you start to creep around in the parking lots a little bit, you know, when you start looking for a spot, then that 17 mpg, that quickly dwindles down to like a 15 mpg. A more real-world figure is going to be 14 to 15 mpg around town, which still isn't the worst with the Hemi V8s. The problem is when you really start to peg it, now you start getting into the 10s and the 12s. So if you're a very aggressive driver, you will be getting more like 12 mpg. The eTorque system, is it worth it? You know, the reason why I like it, it's because I like how smooth the downshifts are, because it's not using fuel to pull off those downshifts. It's actually using that 48 volt mild hybrid battery system in the place of fuel to pull off those really smooth downshifts when you come to a stop. And the other thing is the auto stop start function, really smooth in this, and that can help you save some fuel right there. I would just get it, especially if it's on a lease or something. It'll probably net you 1 mpg, maybe, I don't know, but because it's a free option, it's probably worth having it. But yes, the fuel economy isn't unbelievable, but if you drive it like a grandmother, then it can be okay for sure. I would definitely recommend, if you're building this vehicle, get that 33-gallon fuel tank system. So that's the drivetrain. The other major pro with this, everybody keeps talking about it, and that's going to be with the ride quality, because we have that 5-link coil suspension in the rear, and it's definitely impressive. It certainly does ride great. We have here the 20-inch wheels with this Laramie trim package, so that's one thing you have to keep in mind. The wheel sizes will definitely affect the ride quality here, because if you got the 18-inch wheels, it definitely rides amazing. With the 20s, it's still good. Don't get me wrong. I would still get the 20-inch wheels on the Laramie trim level because they just look amazing. The 18-inch wheel option on the Laramie just looks like garbage. It looks like a work truck at that point, but you can save some money by going with those wheels if you do want the Laramie trim package, and it's going to ride amazing. With the 20-inch rims like you see here, I don't think it's super necessary to get the air suspension. I think you can save that money and still be really satisfied with this ride quality. The other major pro to this is the overall kind of handling demeanor of this. I like how when you make casual left-hand turns, right-hand turns, this vehicle doesn't feel like it's gonna flip over onto its side. You know, all the passengers aren't being swayed around or anything like that. So it makes it a very non-fatiguing experience. Of course, this is a pickup truck. This is not a Porsche 911 GT3. But when I speak about handling, this is what I'm talking about. Just that everyday kind of turns that you make when you're making a huge left-hand turn over the intersections or something like that. It doesn't feel like it's gonna flip over onto itself. It remains neutral, it remains balanced as much as a pickup truck can. So that's what I really appreciate here. The F-150 is technically the best handling truck, in my opinion, mainly because of its all aluminum body. It's the truck that weighs the least. It's got a little bit more of a jarring ride quality because they've stiffened up the suspension. That's part of the reason why that vehicle handles so well, but it's also got leaf springs in the rears. Yes, that vehicle does ride well, the F-150, over the smaller bumps, but it can be a little bit of an inconsistent ride quality. The larger bumps, you are going to feel it a lot more in the F-150s, whereas the Ram 1500 offers a much more neutral, balanced, and consistent ride quality and handling demeanor. So that's why I still prefer the Ram 1500. It's a little bit more of a polished experience over the F-150 and the Chevy. The Chevy has potential. I'm very curious to try out the 2022s in the LT trim level and above, so I'll give you my report on that a little bit later. The brakes are great. The vehicle definitely comes to a stop, but I've noticed that with most pickup trucks, the braking performance is pretty excellent. But here's the main con that I want to talk to you about. So I had mentioned the air suspension before. Well, that's like a $1,800 option, I believe. If you want to get this Ram the way you really want it, like with all the good options, it's going to end up costing you a lot of money. So this particular truck that you see here is about $62,000 for a Laramie. And that's without the air suspension. This isn't even a fully loaded Laramie. It's only got like the level A or the level 1 package on it. It's got the chrome appearance package. It's got the bed utility package, so that gives you the sprayed in bed liner and the LED lights in the back, so it's easier to find things in the bed. All nice things, but this doesn't have the level 2 package with the Harman Kardon sound system. It doesn't have like the GT package, the sport appearance package, or the air suspension like I had mentioned before. So pricing is steep on the Ram 1500s, and also for 2022 models, there is a price hike of about $4,000 over the previous 2021 model years. So obviously there's the whole chip shortage and the pandemic nonsense that's definitely attributing to this, but I'm just saying this is a very expensive product when you get it the way that you want. And this is a pretty frugal spec Laramie trim level, so that's what I'm saying. If you go with the 18-inch wheels, you'll save some money, because I think these 20-inch rims were around $1,400 as an extra option, so keep that in mind. And we'll move on into the interior, because there's a couple other cons to mention. Like, some of these features are kind of stupid. You have power folding mirrors, but you have to press the button for the mirrors to fold in. You know, it's not automatic. You can't program it to where when you lock the vehicle, the mirrors will automatically shut for you. So that's kind of a con right there. And we have one-touch automatic windows, only for the front 2 windows, not for the rear windows, which is kind of annoying, especially for a $62,000 kind of pseudo luxury vehicle. I feel like this vehicle should have one-touch automatic windows for all 4 windows. Even a brand new Corolla comes with one-touch auto windows for all the windows. And another thing to note, I don't know what this is all about, but for whatever reason, if you have a passenger in the rear seats, they can't really open their door unless I open my driver's side door first. Very bizarre. I was looking through the Uconnect system. I couldn't really find anything. I don't know why it's programmed like that, but it is what it is. But for the most part, it's fine. So let's go into another huge pro of this, and that's going to be this interior space. This is a really well done interior. It's just, again, the most polished one, right? F-150, I like it a lot. It's also got a lot of smart little features built in. It's a pretty solid space. But this, I like the execution of this a lot more, right? You have this kind of stitched material going around, leather materials, Alcantara-ish material, and these seats are really comfortable. And you can tell this is a pretty high quality grain of leather, so I do appreciate that. It's got piping, stitching. It just looks fantastic. Now, there are some stupid little things, like this wood trim is like plastic. You know, for a $60,000+ vehicle, they should have put real wood here. If for whatever reason this is real wood, this is the crappiest looking real wood I've ever seen, but I'm pretty sure, 99.9% sure, that this is just plastic. So I don't really like that. It's put together well, it's screwed together. There's no creaks and rattles. And I like this really lazy kind of knob system for the gear selection. I think that's great. Heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel in this Laramie, level A trim level. Push button start, automatic headlights, automatic high beams. Alpine sound system is what comes standard. That's what you get with the level A package, I'm pretty sure. And it's super bass heavy, something to keep in mind. I actually have to turn the bass all the way down, especially if you're like listening to rap music in here. Super bass heavy. It's not the best audio system, but it's not the worst either. It's a pretty decent one for this category as far as trucks are concerned. But a 19-speaker Harman Kardon is available if you go with the level 2 package or like the limited trim levels. Plenty of space in the back. It's pretty much the same as every other truck. Plenty of cubby spaces. Smart use of space. Plenty of space to put your cell phone in here. charging ports, USB-C, regular USB, aux cables, more space to put your phone up here. Only the F-150 is the other truck that offers like this type of intelligent interior design as far as trucks are concerned, right? And this interior space makes for a non-fatiguing experience as well. Like these seats are super comfortable and I really appreciate that. A leather wrapped steering wheel is pretty much standard from the Bighorn up. I'm not really sure about the Tradesman. Nobody cares about the Tradesman, so that doesn't really matter. And there's plenty of space in the bed as well. That's not an issue. This is a 5'7" bed. So let's kind of end this off. I talked about getting 12% off MSRP on a brand new Ram 1500. You can definitely get that. I've partnered up with Lease Companion. This is actually my father's own personal vehicle now. He was able to trade in his 2021 Tundra for a profit, and he was able to get this 12% off. He just had to wait about a month or so, about a month and a week, I think, for his vehicle to get built, and it was ready to go. And they're located in the Washington, D.C. area. So if you're in California, it's kind of annoying to ship the vehicle. Probably costs about $1,500. Keep that in mind. But if you're on the East Coast, definitely something to take advantage of if you're willing to wait for a custom built vehicle. And we used JS Transport to get the vehicle over to us in North Carolina from Washington, D.C. So that went smoothly, quickly, no problems, and the price was good on that as well. And that discount is pretty good because that's what these vehicles were going for pre-pandemic. So that's how you know it's a pretty good deal. If you're getting like a pre-pandemic deal on a brand new vehicle like this and it's a pickup truck, you know it's going to have amazing resale value. So if you're going to plan on leasing this, you know you're going to have positive equity when you go to trade it in after your 3 years is up. Or if you just want to finance it or pay cash, you can do that as well and still get the incentives that you might qualify for and the 12% off discount. And if you go through my link with Lease Companion, you can take around $50, $25 to $50 off of that broker fee that they charge, because there is a broker, Lease Companion is a broker that kind of sets up these deals. They're kind of pre-negotiated for you. They have a spreadsheet that you can look over, and there's plenty of information on the Lease Hacker forum that you can look over, see what it's all about before you sign up. Again, don't sign up if you don't need a vehicle, if you're just buying a car for no reason. If you're truly in the buying market, or if you own a truck right now that you have plenty of positive equity in and you want to trade it in later, pick this up at a discount, go for it. That's what my father did. And typically the Lease Companion broker fee is around $500, I believe. So you can take $50 off of that when you sign up with my link. So I'll leave that below in the description box and in the pinned comment. Thanks again for watching this video. Take care and goodbye.